Hey gang, so we're going to be talking about goal setting, and so we're just going to overview some things. We're going to talk about stuff, sort of like how most folks think about goals, which is the far goals. Then we're going to talk about near goals, then the immediate goals, which is the real meat of what you really need to do about goal setting, and then we'll go over this cute little diagram that I made. So far goals. These are like sort of the big, sexy outcome goals. These are the big goals that, when people talk about goal setting or when people, tend to make their New Year's resolutions, these are the goals that people mostly make. So it might be like running a marathon. Maybe it's losing 50 pounds. Maybe it's, for me as a student, maybe it's getting an A on this test and surviving school, But the thing about these far goals is that they're very far. When you set that goal, you're not setting anything in between that far goal and now. You're just saying, I want to run that marathon. Well, how do you get there? How do you run that marathon? And even if you, let's say, put in all the training that you can, you put in all the miles, or if you try to lose the 50 pounds, let's say you try to, eat really well, you cannot guarantee that outcome. It's too much of an outcome. It's too far away, and it's not that's something that's a little bit out of your control, because it's an outcome, not the process. That difference between the process and the outcome. The process is something that you can control. The outcome is not necessarily something that you can control directly. You can control it indirectly through a good process, but you can't always guarantee that outcome. Then between that far goal and now is the near goal. The near goal is something of a stepping stone. It's that little midway point between the present and that deep dark, not that dark future, that big bright future. They tend to be a little bit more qualitative. This also might be another type of goal that people set during New Year's resolution. They say, I want to eat better. I want to run more. I want to run more efficient. Building on the example of the marathon, excuse me, might want to run more efficiently, or you might want to have less injuries so that you can run more without getting hurt, without stopping your training program, which is a big problem with running. Or if you're trying to lose those 50 pounds, maybe you try to eat a little bit more mindfully. You try to taste all the food that goes in your mouth, so you actually enjoy it, you experience it, rather than just kind of horking it down, which is a problem I tend to have. These are behaviors and they're qualities, so by their very nature, they're a little bit more qualitative. They're less measurable because you're trying to, it's still sort of an outcome. You're still sort of just describing something. You're not checking things off of a list, if that makes sense. I hope it does. You can try to run more efficiently, but you can't really, it's hard to check that box off entirely. It'd be like, I am running more efficiently now. It's still sort of a little bit in the future. It's not quite now. It's not quite something you can do today. And so those are the near goals, but you can see how they get you to those far goals. So it's intelligently building your goals is really important. And so this brings us to the meat of the things. What can you do tomorrow? What can you do today? What are the immediate goals you have? And these are habits and routines. And these are very quantitative. They're putting on your running shoes 3 times a week, and you do running drills, run efficiency drills. We'll talk about this in some future videos, but it's about intelligently setting these immediate goals is also setting the bar really low. So just put your shoes on. Just put your shoes on 3 times a week. That's the immediate goal. That's something you can do tomorrow. Put your shoes on. When you put those shoes on, you're probably going to go on a run because you get your shoes on, you get your second shorts on, you get your knee on, your headbands on, all that stuff. You're probably going to go on a little bit of run. You're not going to run 5 miles every day. Just put the shoes on. Set that goal so you actually can accomplish it. That's something you can do tomorrow. Or to talk about that far goal for losing 50 pounds, you can say, let's spend 15 minutes eating every meal. Don't hork it down. Don't eat it as fast as you can. Don't eat that meal while you're looking on your phone. You're just tasting and you're just experiencing. And you might notice you reach full a little bit sooner than you might think, and you might not want to finish the whole plate just because it's in front of you. So being a little bit more mindful while you eat, that could be a big goal. And that's a big goal that I have, is being more mindful while I eat, not putting food in my mouth and then immediately loading up that fork or spoon with more food, letting myself chew, swallow, taste, and then I pick up the spoon or fork and then I put more food in my mouth. Not like always like a conveyor belt getting it ready. That's a goal that I have. And so that's something mindful eating, that is something you can do tomorrow. That is literally something you can do today. And what's nice about these goals is that they're quantitative and they're measurable. And this is also, you might have heard of SMART goals. Actually, I should have looked this up before I made the video, but the SMART goal stands for something. It's like short, measurable, attainable, R, and T, something like that. But you can Google it. There are plenty of videos probably out there about SMART goals. But they're basically quantitative goals that you can measure, you can achieve, you can check that, you can cross that off your list, you can check that box, get that nice little dopamine hit for doing something awesome. They're very immediate goals, and so you got your far goals, you got your near goals, and you got your immediate goals. Those three sort of layers of goal setting. And intelligently setting these three different kinds of goals is really important. For me, example, my far goal is to clean and jerk 300 pounds and to snatch 250 pounds. Those are my far goals. Those are outcome-based goals. I can't quite ever really guarantee that I'm going to hit those numbers. But my near goals is to get more efficient, get stronger in the lifts. And my immediate goals are to lift 3 times a week, do mobility work at least once, twice a week. So I get that good quality work in, that quality like tissue work in to support my near goals, to support my far goals. And so this brings us to that little cute little diagram that I have down here. So if you look at making a little graph with time, this top one here, that's your far goal. That's the big sexy goal, top of the food chain. Then a little bit below that is your immediate goal, or your near goals, and then the bottom right here, closest to now. So if time, this is now, this is future, this is deep future, this is something you can do tomorrow. These are your immediate goals, and I like to think of it sort of as a plant. So the far distant goals, these big sexy goals, they are the flower of a plant, like this little guy. Like when you think of a tulip plant or a rose, you only think of the flower, generally speaking, but you don't think about the entire plant itself. So, but that's the really cool part, right? The cool part of the plant is the flower. But that's the far thing, and you can't always guarantee that you're going to get that flower. For right now, this plant is in a vegetative phase. It's not in the flowering phase. The near goals, I like to think of those as the leaves. They're really important. They provide nutrients. They provide food for the plant. They're really essential, and if you got good healthy leaves, you're probably going to have a good healthy flower, lots of flowers. And the immediate goals, the not very sexy stuff, but the real grind, the real important stuff to get into a rhythm to and to get those habits and routines, those are the roots. Those are the things that you don't see. Those are you probably see the near goals, you probably see people moving better, you probably see people doing they're starting to eat more mindfully, they're starting to run more efficiently, they're starting to lift more efficiently. Those are the leaves. But the not sexy stuff, the things that they do every single day, the habits and routines of a really successful person are underground. You don't see them. They're the roots, the root system. And to be honest, the roots are really the most important part of a plant, because they're the real, that is the plant. We see the leaves, but they're not, the leaves can kind of go away. You can cut down, if you think of a vine, trying to cut down a vine or maybe even bamboo, you can cut that stuff off. But if you don't get the root out, that plant's just going to keep coming back. And that's why it's really, if you think about bamboo having really good habits, that's why they keep growing back and it keeps growing and spreading. But if you don't have the root system, if you don't have that base to support the far goals, you'll never get that far goal. You'll never get that beautiful flower, that cool, sexy outcome. So that's my cute little analogy relating plants to a goal setting. And in some future videos, we'll talk about how to set these routines and habits up for success for a big, sexy outcome goal. And you'll notice that here in this diagram, I have bunch of little daily routines leading up to a cool near goal. So you can also have additive effects you can combine daily habits and rituals to leverage yourselves to success for near goals and far goals. So just a little sneak preview of some future videos. I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope you like it. If you do like it, please share it with your friends and family. And that's the biggest compliment you can give me about these videos. So subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it.